If I ask 100 AI engineers to explain what an AI agent is, most of them would make it sounds incredible complicated. They would talk about autonomous system, multi-agent workflow, reasoning engine, planning framework, memory architecture. And after 5 minutes, you would probably feel like you need a PhD to follow the conversation. But what if I told you uh, that the difference between the code we have wrote in last episodes in this series and a real AI agent is basically a while. Seriously, one loop. That's it. And once you see it, you would wonder why everyone makes this sound so complicated. Today, we are going to build an AI agent from scratch. And by end of this video, you will understand the core idea behind almost every coding assistant, research assistant, customer support bot, and like other AI agent being built today. Hey everyone, welcome back to series. I am Nitin Kumar, and in this series we are building AI agents from scratch. First, we understand the concept, and then we write the code. So, if you have followed the series so far, you have already learned a couple of ingredients needed to build an AI agent. So, in last episode, we have learned about the function calling that gave some sort of a hands to our uh, agent by the function calls. And in the last episode, we have learned about the structured output that gave sort of a discipline to our AI. And today we are adding the final ingredient, a loop. And that tiny change transform a chatbot into an agent. So let's see, let's deep dive. Okay. Let's imagine a detective solving a case. So imagine this detective is smart, very curious, know how to ask the right questions, and nobody says first do this, then do this, then do this. Instead of them, they follow clues. Uh, like okay, a fingerprint leads to a suspect leads to an address leads to a witness, and witness leads to another clue, and and every clue changes what they do next, and the detective keep going until the case is solved. Note before, note after. This is exactly how an AI agent works. So first they will their job is like solving case, no script in advance. Each clue tell them what to next and stop when the case is solved. And they follow by themselves step by step. They figure it out. Now here is the secret. Uh, Function calling and the agent are no different concept. So how they work? Look at a clue and they say what do I know so far? Uh, pick a tool that is so how a detective actually works. So they first look at the clues. So what do I know so far? And then pick a tool like something interview, lab, file, etc. And then get some result out of it. Now they know more, and they see, okay, is the case solved? If no, then they repeat. Uh, if the case is solved, then done. So this is a loop until they solve the case. Now, now relate this detective thing with our agent. So the detective is nothing. It's our model. The model that we are going to. Their tool is our the tools that we have defined, like get weather or get capital of the something, and picking what to ask next. That is the model's tool call. Like which tool need to call by the model. So based upon the decision, based upon the requirement, the model decide, okay, I need to call this tool. And what they have learned, this is about the output of our function call. The LLM initiated one function call, and then output we got. And if there is no more tool calls, that means okay, case is closed. Model says, okay, I'm done, I don't need anything after this. So this is sort of a breakdown how we can relate this detective with our AI agent. So function call is one round, and agent is the same thing but in a loop. Very simple. Now, how we are doing it? So before checking this part into let's say going into more writing the code, but let's see in a loop how the Python works. So this is a sort of a while loop that I mentioned in start, and we pass on conversation to our the client this responses API, and then we got some response. Then in this response, we will check if there is no tool call in response. We will say, okay, we got our final answer. But let's say there is a tool call in our response. So we iterate all the tool calls that our response is asking. We call one by one and append this output, the result of our this tool call into one conversation. And again, this loop will again reiterate until it says no more tool call required. It will keep running. So what is that? The call the API with current conversation. If model and text, done. And then if it's required more tool, then it will go. Okay, now let's go to the code, how we can relate it. So this is how we are importing our OpenAI key. Very simple one. Let's ask some slightly complicated question with our the the tool that we are thinking. First, let's import. Okay, we need the JSON that we imported. Now let's say first create two fake sort of tool that we are going to use. Even we saw this in our previous lecture. So one is the get capital. Like we have the capital of France is Paris, Japan is Tokyo, India is New Delhi, and it will return the capital. If it's not found, it will say unknown. That is a simple function, but we will replace in future episode with the real the function. But let's just for make it simple, one step at once. And then this is the other function. It is a get weather. So we'll pass the city name and it will give me the what is the temperature and what is the condition. If the city is unknown, I will say, okay, I don't know the condition, the city is unknown. Okay, very simple two functions. We will use it. And let's say now I need to this function to make convert into the tool that our LLM can understand. So we create a list of this. So our this is our the one type is our function first. This is our for first tool. This is our for second tool. So what we define, the type is a function, name is the get capital, and description is very required. That help help the LLM to understand what this function will do. So it is a get the capital city of a country, and what is the parameter? Its object, and what is the properties? It will you need a country that is a string, and country is required for this part. Same with this part. This is other again. It's a function. The function name is get weather. Get the current weather of a city and object, and it need a parameter city. That city is required, and then it will do the job whatever function is returning. Now let's create this as a function table because we are going to feed at this as a table to our LLM. So this is our function table. We say get capital is a function in get capital, get weather function is a get weather. And if I just print it, it just simply say a map. Nothing. It's just a map. Okay. Now let's ask a very simple question, but maybe need some outer knowledge. So my question is, what is the weather in capital of France? Okay. So if I ask this question, how LLM will respond? Let's see. Very interesting part. So for in our first iteration, we will see very simple how we are using our API till now. So we will call this as a client.responses.create and model is GPT-5 mini, and we will pass our input as a conversation. And we are passing the tools. Simple. Nothing more complicated. This is the API we are calling from the start, and just run it. And after this, we will print our output. So let's see. So in our part, what we are saying. So what is it's saying? Let's just print it. What I'm getting out of it. If I'm running it, response. This is the response I got, and but I need the output text. I'm not getting anything. Output text. Let's do because might need the functions in this. Cool. So let's get, is this my response is calling any function tool? So I'll check if there is any function call required in my tool. So I'll print it. Is there any function call required? Yes, it's required. So it's required a function call, this one, get capital, and the city is France. So it's required, and this is this is the tool. So now let's in my first iterate, can I run my tool and give me the response? So let's just without any loop. So I will iterate all the tools that I my model is required, each tool. So I will load my argument in JSON and run this, execute this tool by function table that I have already created. I will pass the argument here and then I will print it. So what I am getting the output out of it. So this will print the function name and the output of my function that is required for this to serve this query. And what I will do next is this part. So I will append my the function call and what is my call ID and function name and argument to my conversation first, and then the result what I am getting from my function call. So in my first loop, it will run all the function that is required in my first response. So now it says, okay, it called this function because here it was no axis. So now it says, okay, now I call this function get capital, it pass the country as a France and get the capital as a Paris. But let's see what final response now I am getting it. So if I pass this conversation is definitely slightly longer. If I just print it now, because conversation, what is the weather I asked, and this thing I appended, I need this function, and this is the output I got from my function call. Now my conversation appended. This is the starting I asked. This is LLM say I need this function, and this is the output we ran outside and then gave the output. Now, what is the final response I am getting out of it? So now it's running the second API call. Now you got the output. Now it will going to the LLM saying I have this knowledge. Now I know the what is the capital of France. Now tell me what now serve the final question. So if I print it now, will I get something? Let's see. Final dot final dot output text. Will I get something? Still I'm not getting anything because it's still stuck in somewhere. Now let's say if I check more, uh, do this need, so I am checking again, do this output need any more function calls? So now in my output text, I'm not getting anything. But if I check, is the tool required? So now I will print it. Is the more call required? Call. So this is the, if I check my final output, final dot output, if type is, I iterate all the object in my final dot output and check if the type is object call. Yes, it's asking, I have the city Paris. I need the weather now because previous one was asking for the capital. And now it's asking, I need the weather information now. If my, now I make this condition, if more function calls, so I will simply print, okay, model wanted more function call, but we stop asking because we say we are not doing anything. But if it's not asking anything, I will say print output. Let's say if I run this, model was definitely asking for more function calls to get the weather, and that is the problem. So we pass one thing. We first ask our question: what is the weather in the capital of France? So in first iteration, it got what is the capital of my France first. That's the Paris. Now the second thing. Okay, what is the temperature in Paris? To serve this query, it need multiple steps to solve my question. So in my first when I raised the query, it understood. Okay, I need to get the capital of France. Okay, it now later it got the capital of France, that is Paris. Now in my second iteration, it's saying, okay, now I need the weather. I need the what is the current weather. That's how I need one more function access. But I just stop my function. I stopped my here, but that's how I was running out of it in my previous episode. But I have not got my final output here. That is the problem. That is the problem we are going to solve today. So if we are like, let's say that the second step can be, okay, can I pass this more into my again into append to my conversation and pass it to me? How many times you will do it? This is very simple 2 step 3 step thing. But let's say you are building a research agent, more deeper agent. You need lot of steps, so you can't do all the steps manually. So that's why can I create some sort of a loop. That loop will help me uh, go till the point where it will give me the final output. So in this condition, I have not got my answer. So model was not confused. Model was not even hallucinating. Model had a plan, and then plan makes sense. It needs the capital, then the current weather, and I will return the answer. But it simply needed another turn, and that raises a fascinating question. What happens if we keep letting it continue? Now watch this. Now it will build a solid agent. So in this one, that's for the one question we asked. It needed three things: get capital Paris, and then it need a weather something, and then it will say, okay, I need the final output. So can we build a system like this? Now let's build in this fashion. So we have this tool. Now can I build a sort of a agent? Uh, let's build it into more like a create a sort of a function. So I will create a function, let's say define, I am saying run agent. And what is the things I'm giving? I am giving the question, and question will be my string. And what is the next thing? I'm giving first, just for making more better, I'm saying, oh, you just need to go max 10 turns, not more than it. So just to get more safer. So we will learn how to control this max turn, how to identify this. Now, uh, what we are doing our conversation, giving our question to our the conversation. Now we have this conversation, we have this one. Now what I need to do? I need to run my model till the final turn. So for, and I will write I in range and whatever max turn I have. So it will be run till the max turn. Okay, it will go 1, 2, 3, but will it required every time? So first let's print the what is the turn number. Print how many turns to identify more into how many turns it running it. Because it will start from I, so we'll make it I plus 1, I plus 1, which loop will start from I. And now let's pass this, res, get the first response out of it when the question goes. So I am passing the tool that we define on the top. Now I am getting my responses. So now I got my first response. I passed the conversation, I got the response. Now what I need to do? I need to get, okay, does this response required any tool? That is the step I will do now. So I will get all the tools required that are, that's how we were doing in our previous thing. So we will iterate response.output, and if any objective type is a function call, then we add to our this list the tool calls. Now we got the tool calls. Now we added the maximum iteration 10, but let's add first the breaking condition. We don't need 10 turns or 10 iterations, because in a previous example it just required 3. So now let's add this stopping condition. If not tool calls, there is no tool calls, what we will say? We will print, okay, output is ready, or maybe let's say agent is done. And what we will return? We will return the same thing, response dot output text. That's how we're returning. That is our the breaking condition. Now, if this case is not satisfied, if my tool required the LLM, now I will go with. So what will I will do? I will go with for calls, for call in my tool calls. That's how I'm getting each call. And what is the thing? First, I will prepare my argument for this call that is looking for. That's how I will load the arguments, call dot arguments. And now I will run my this function. So result will be of my this function table that I was using. Function table, it will pick from that, and function table it will pick first, because I have the call. So first I will pick the call dot name. What is the function I am going to pass? And now for this function, I will pass my argument. are simple. Now I will get my result. So first, let's say print it. Let's print the result in a just let's print in a very nice format, so it will look pretty. I have printed. So this will print if my function name and the argument and what is the output. Okay. Now what I need to do? I got my function output. Now I need to append this my output into my conversation. How we are doing it? First, we will append the my function details, what I am running it. So how am I appending it? So conversation dot append the type of function call that we are doing, call ID because call that ID, and then function call function name and what are the argument we are passing. That's how we are doing it. Now after appending it, now I need to add my output, what I got. So now append it function dot conversation dot append type with the function call output, and this is the call ID, and I will whatever result I got it load into JSON and make it as output and save it. Okay, if still not completed, so what will I do? I will go into this thing because if it's not even done and not breaking, I will print it like something max hit return, but agent didn't finish. Maybe task needed more iteration, so let's just return it after this. So after even max iteration. So that's how my this function is defined. So what it will do, it will the same thing. First ask the question and then check is the tool what is the function called required. If no, nothing, it will say okay, I'm done. Return, it will return, break it up. But if required something call, I will run for each call that is my LLM is asking or my response is asking and get an output, append this to my conversation. And again, this conversation will be rich with the output, more clues, more information that my agent detective or a detective is looking for. And again, go to my LLM here with the updated conversation and the tools and ask, okay, do you need more tools or are you good enough? If good enough, then break it down. Okay. This is pretty simple. Simple. That's it. That's the entire actor. Not a giant framework, not hundred line of code, not a magic, a simple loop. Now let's see what it change into my thing. So I'll ask the same question, but I will this is I'll ask the same question. So my question is that what is the weather in capital of France? And then I'll print my question. I will not run the answer. I'll print my question. This is my question got. And now I'll pass this question to my agent, run agent, and I will print my answer. So it will in between it will print the turns and my the all the LM tools it's running. So let's run it now. So turn one started, and now it based upon the question it asks, okay, get the capital. So now it ran, okay, the capital is France and the country is France and capital is Paris. In turn two, it asks, okay, I have the capital. Can I get the weather of the Paris? So then it called this tool get weather. The city is Paris and temperature is 14 and the condition that function, the dummy function we define. And after the third turn, agent says no more tool required. And this is the final answer. It say France capital is Paris. Current weather is in Paris is 14-degree, cloudy. Would you like to forecast more detail, wind, humidity, and all? That is the answer we got. That is the answer we were planning. So model created plan itself. We have not asked it to like what question you need to ask, what clarification you need to ask. So it's sort of a work as an autonomous system, and that's the autonomy you are looking out of it. That is the agent, and this is sort of a most of the people finally understand. This is the point. Okay, what is an agent? The model is no longer reacting; it's planning. It's not doing chat. It's working as a system. It's working as an autonomous agent. Every result changes what happened next. The agent is literally thinking, what do I know? What should I do next? Am I done? And loop continue until it say enough information to answer. Then it will interpret this information and say, okay, this is the final answer I gave. Now make it slightly harder. Now this is a very simple problem. We ask, okay, uh, this is the weather and all. Now let's go into slightly complicated. We will build the more complex agent later, but because we are working slightly with dummy functions, so let's stick with the basics thing. So now I am adding two more functions, uh, just to the A1 is a calculator, and simply, and one is for the population. I am passing the population for Paris, Tokyo, New Delhi, and Berlin. And okay, this is the two function. Now again, I need to create the tool. So simple. Then that's how we created for the last two ones. We will create these two. So this is the one function. This is my second function. This is my third function, and this is my fourth function. So this is the function is get capital, get current weather. This is function name is get weather. This name is a calculate, and this function is a get population. So I have a table with containing all the functions that we have in our code. Now let's ask some slightly more question, like compare the weather in the capitals of France and Japan, and what is the temperature difference. So if I pass the same function and uh, to the same agent that we have, and let's just run it again and see. Okay, now we will just want to watch is how agent is planning, and let's see which all function maybe agent needed. So surprisingly different. Now, model or our agent is not looking for the get capital because LLM knows the capital of Paris and Tokyo, so it's slightly acting smart and said, okay, I don't need the this tool for getting the capital. I have this information now. I will directly call this get weather, and after getting the weather for both cities, now agent says, okay, I don't need any tool for answering this thing, and based upon this response from this one, it says, okay, Paris temperature this, Tokyo temperature this, and the temperature difference 8 degree. Now, if I change slightly because I have this population also, so can I ask a different question? Let's say instead of weather, can I ask the population? Compare the population in the capital of France and Japan, and instead of Japan, let's say India. So can I ask this question? So if I ask this question, and let's say if I say run agent and fire my question to the agent, and let's say what it's respond. So in turn one, what it's doing, it it run this function get population, and for Paris and for New Delhi. And after this run, it says agent, I don't need any information. And then it interpreted. It says using the population figure, okay, maybe we need to do it slightly better. It's not printing. So if I just print it, maybe it will print all the lines and all. So just hold it now. Pretty print. So now run it, and now it will see, it will answer this question. What our functions may be demand. Maybe it will not call the capital function. And now it's not calling. It said, okay, I know the capital for both the countries. I have Paris and New Delhi. And now agent says, okay, I'm done. I don't need any function call. But I have some responses, and now I interpret to answer your query. And based upon this thing, using the population figure returned by my tools is like, this is the population of Paris, this is the population of New Delhi, and it use now the difference and say, okay, difference is this much, and 29.9 million more people, and say, okay, relative size New Delhi is roughly 15.2 times the largest Paris, but by these figures, note population count can vary source, and it's sort of interpretation from the LLM. And that's how now by the simple turn that we are using it, it acted. We don't decide, we don't give a instruction, oh, use this step, use this step, and all these things. So no, it's already know what the clues or what are the information I need, what are the things I need to figure out, and based upon the response of that tool output, it again decide what to do next. Do I need to stop it, or I need more information out of the world, maybe some database access or something. So now the challenge is, as we are seeing this part, we know, okay, my tool is working fine. It's asking the simple question and all, gave me pretty good answer, working fine. So your model planned everything by itself, and then and it's sort of a like when it's planning start feeling sort of a agent, sort of a system, not a just a chatbot. I'm not saying every time, oh, what is the capital of France? Okay, what is the population of Paris? I'm not asking as a chatbot. It's automatically working as a autonomous system, and that's sort of we call it an agent. So an agent is not an intelligence. The model already had intelligence. Our LLM has a lot of knowledge about the real world. Agent is not a tool. We already had a lot of tools like get weather, maybe internet search is a different tool, databases access is a different tool, and agent not even a structured output. It we said okay, we how we pass the schema. That's a it's a combination of all these things. So agent is a intelligence plus intelligence or LLM plus tools that we are passing into and a loop. That's it. Now you already understood what AI agent actually is. So not the buzzword version, the real version by simpling by the loop and all. And uh, the you have learned the core architecture behind most of the modern AI systems. And now you saw okay how this work in multiple steps by its own. And in the next episode we will make it more incredible, smarter, with more very basic concept, and then make it a good agent. And as we are working into this lot of concepts and deep diving. So there can be very sort of a natural question will come up. Oh, I am defining this tool in my notebook. I'm writing this function. Where do these tools come from? Do we really need to hardcore or type and code every tool by ourselves? Or is there any better way? And this question leads us directly into MCP, the Model Context Protocol. And once you understand MCP, you will understand how tools work across entire companies. So okay, I think we are done for this session. You have learned some basic system of our agentic system, how agent work. And if you're following this series, just write the code with me so you can understand better how the thing is flowing. Add the print statement, see how the step by step things are working to get more understanding of the agent. And that's how we will build more end-to-end system from the scratch. And so yeah, we will explore more concept like MCP in the next episode, and how MCP can save lot of time and help me to get more tools and things into place. So yeah, see you in the next episode.